farmers, and we have since sort of broadened our horizons into agritourism. Do you want to go on to the next slide, Caroline? So we have farmed at Moss Yard since 1911, when my great-grandparents took on a tenancy from the estate, Cardness estate next door. That was then, due to death duties, we managed to get the opportunity, or my grandparents got the opportunity to buy the farm in 1958. I suppose, looking at the agritourism side, my grandmother and grandfather were the first people to start our agritourism journey. And that would start before the Second World War. I think the day war broke out, we had 80 tents and caravans in a field on the farm. And then I think the day that literally by the second day, they had all had to leave. We've been very restricted over the years by a national trust, Scottish National Trust covenant that's been put on us when we bought the farm. But we've managed to work our way over the years to have what we do today. So, you know, it's been an interesting journey. Certainly, I came home in 2004, and then little brother's at home now, big brother's at home now, mum and dad are still here, uncles are still floating around. In the photo here, we've got my granny, who sadly died this year, or it was actually just the end of last year. But she's been really the inspiration for our family to take things forward. Can you go on to the next slide, Caroline? So we were lucky enough to be an agritourism monitor farm back in 2015, and that's when things really sort of took a turn, not for the worst, obviously. That's when we met Caroline, and our business has never really looked back since. I have to say that and mean it. It was a brilliant experience. We were all we all sort of scratched our heads and weren't sure. Little brother he was keen to take on the agritourism monitor farm, but I thought it would be a great opportunity to have people from outside the industry looking in and seeing where there are opportunities. So we all signed up to that, and it's been a great thing. One of the key successes to our business, my own personal business, was the talk on succession. And we all decided through the agritourism farm that really we should look at where our businesses go from that moment. And the three brothers all being at home with their wives, things started, they do tend to get a bit niggly. Everyone has different opinions. Duncan wanted to grow faster than everybody else. And, everybody has their own ideas. And we felt that it was time to split the businesses. My parents were both very keen for us to do that as well, which was tremendous. There's so many farms out there where parents will not let go. So at that point, we started discussing how we could move forward with our business. And we ended up dividing our businesses, which thankfully were three individual businesses in their own right. Duncan had the outdoor centre, Big Brother had the caravan site in Lodge Park, and I was working on the farm alongside my father at the time. And that's really where my own personal agritourism journey started. From that, I went on to do the Rural Leadership programme through the Scottish Enterprise, and that in itself was a great programme for me. It's given me a lot of confidence to take the business forward. Meeting like-minded individuals that are developing their business, so we once we finished that program, we came back and I sat down with my wife Amy and we sort of said, right, where are we going? We need to figure out how we're going to make our business sustainable. If you can go on to the next slide, Caroline. So we already, within the farm split, we took on one of the holiday cottages, which was an agricultural, it was already a holiday cottage, which Big Brother and his wife were running, but through the splitting of assets, we took on this cottage, which is Edenville, and that's the one in the top right-hand corner. It had a huge garden that we felt was just a waste of space. I spent all my summer cutting the grass. We looked at options and we managed to get planning permission, and we built Curlew Cottage, which is the top left-hand corner. So already we were pushing forward with trying to, you know, create a business that, you know, allowed people to come and enjoy what we had in our doorstep. We're very lucky with our location. We're sort of 50 yards from the sea. We've got lovely beach. We've got hills, rolling hills behind the cottages. We've got the farmland surrounding the cottages. So it offers quite a lot for people coming to stay. And we already had the tourism base there. So, and you know, within a year, Curlew Cottage, it's 48 weeks of the year it's let out. So, you know, we're very, and Edenville as well, both are very well let. In fact, Edenville, we've just finished some renovations during lockdown, and we'll have invested £25,000 opening up the window there, knocking walls down, giving it a complete makeover to try and bring it up to the spec of the new cottage. Next slide, please. So we scratched our heads, and then we came up with the idea. Amy's parents live about a mile away, just up past Lagan Farm, where I farm as well. I run the farming side of Lagan, about a mile away. And at the same time as we were looking up the road, Duncan had set up the Gigi's Yard, the wedding venue. And there was a huge opportunity, we felt, for accommodation for wedding customers, because there's such, you know, there is accommodation in the area, but you know, some people just want one night stays, some people want 2 night stays, some people want a week stay after a wedding. And so Amy's parents had a disused horse arena. We felt that it was a prime location with stunning sea views right out across the Isle of Man, across the Wigtonshire, and it was disused. And we just said to them, look, could we develop on this? And at that point, we developed 3 little huts, came up with the concept of putting some bespoke shepherd's huts on. We applied for leader funding, and we were very, very lucky to be accepted. And we were awarded a grant of £45,000 towards the project. Also, the bank said that they would lend us the other half of the project. So we managed to get planning permission on the site. We started building. As you do when you start building, you start losing control of, you get a bit overexcited. But we felt that during the build, you know, because we were lucky enough to get the funding from Leader, we took it to the next level and we pushed out. We've had bespoke kitchens put in. We decided to deck the insides out in larch as well as the outsides. We went for the copper bath outside just as a little added extra. But, you know, we really pushed it to the high end. They've been so successful. We've been delighted with how they've let since 18 months we've been up and running. Not even that. Well, be about 18 months. Since then, we've added another 2 outdoor copper baths. Something different than the hot tubs. You know, people love a hot tub, but at the same time, I don't have the time to run up and down, change filters, wash them out, as well as lambing and calving and all the bits and pieces that go in the farm. Amy's got the pottery and cucubry. There's so much going on, but you know, it's really added another string to our bow. It's secured our business. It's given, you know, agritourism for us. It's taken us to the next level in that. So can you go on? That's within the Scottish Agritourism. You know, we started our journey really when we met Caroline. I've always believed in her vision. And I think really it's a great opportunity to join an exciting journey. I really do believe that. The support network we've had over the last year, since we started doing the farm tours, the group that we're part of has gone boom, and everybody, you know, for me, as much it's a networking tool as much as anything. You know, if you have a question or want support and advice, it's a great place. It's a great thing to be part of, really is. And it, you know, it will give you the tool to drive your business forward, as it has with ours. And you know, we're already looking at what we can do next, how we can develop our business further. I mean, the agritourism side has got it's almost its own business, but it's still very much part of the farm. Without the farm, there wouldn't be an agritourism business, for us. And you know, we're keen to possibly do more of the farm stays, take people out doing tours. We are looking into selling our local produce, our own produce, as much as anybody else's locally, and that's where we are sort of possibly looking at more accommodation. I think we're keen to actually build ourselves a slightly bigger house first, but then our house will become a letting unit in its you know, its own right. But it's agritourism. I think, you know, it's a great thing. I think you should join today if you haven't already done so.